Hi to all, so yeah, back on the B31 gearbox, on this 1949 BSA, and I've run into a little bit of a problem, two problems actually, which I'm hoping some of you guys might be able to help with, because I imagine most of the people watching this will have a B31 BSA. Right, so I just thought I would do a dry assembly. Got the gasket in without any compound or anything on it, any weld seal. And the problem I've run into is with this loosely tightened, it's locked up already. 1 second, I must tighten it up. You know what I'm going to say. When this inner case is tightened to the actual box, the gear selector shaft locks up. So at the minute, with that loose, I can select all the gears, no problem. I won't go through all of them, you get the idea. As soon as I tighten this case up, if you just bear with me, as soon as I just knit this up, and I'm only doing this gently, I lose all clearance, and the selector shaft locks up. So obviously it's hard against the faces. Now, I replaced both of the selector bushes. That one is a remanufactured from Dragonfly. This one, I've actually knocked the end cap out because I thought that might have been the problem, but it isn't. That's a new old stock one. Now on these bushes, as again, I'm sure most of you know, they can be shimmed. But obviously you're shimming that way, so it make it even tighter. So these haven't got any shims in them. Now I suppose the possibilities are that I didn't press them in far enough. That would explain it. This gasket's not thick enough. I'm assuming it is. That's sort of 0.4 of a mil. I can't imagine this, because this is new old stock BSA, so that's probably right. But I'm just wondering if there might be a problem with this bush. It's a remanufactured one. So yeah, I'm going to have a look at that. Like I say, a thicker gasket. Sorry, probably help. But yeah, that's locked up solid now. That won't shift. The other problem, second problem, in the service sheets, somewhere it mentions, I can't quite find where, but it says minimum end play. Now this will focus. Got a lot of movement on the Layshaft, side to side movement. And again, these are new bushes, both sides. And in the parts manual, parts book, there's no mention of shims for this. So I'm just wondering how big a problem that is. I suppose it has to have a little bit of movement because of the speedo drive. The worm drive on the speedo, wherever that's gone. But yeah, so if anybody can advise on how much movement, that'd be great. And any thoughts on this selector shaft? Obviously I'm going to have to take it apart and have a look. But yeah, in the service sheets it doesn't actually give any measurements for end float. Modern motorcycles you get measurements for everything. So yeah, that does seem like excessive. So yeah, any thoughts on that? Like I said, I don't want to go fixing problems that aren't there, but that's definitely a problem. And I managed to cut my finger on the locking plate. Lovely. Alright, yeah, any suggestions, just leave it in the comments, that'd be really helpful. Thanks. Okay, so I pressed this selector bush out of the box, out of the case, and they are identical. Like I said, this is new old stock BSA, but if you look on the one I took out, it's got a wear indentation on it. Probably through hundreds of thousands of miles of selecting gears, it's worn. And I'm just wondering if that's enough for my clearance issue. I don't know. I'm gonna put this old one back in and see where we sit. So yeah, watch your space. Okay, so I replaced the gear selector bush with the original one. Obviously there's a little bit more slop in it than the new old stock one. So I took that out, the old one back in, tightened everything up, and gear selection has been returned. So that little bit of play, you can't really see it, but you can feel a tiny little bit of movement on that shaft, side to side movement. And yeah, I can get back through the gears again. Obviously you've got to start rotating it. So yeah, that was a bit of a waste of money. Was it just wear? Thicker gasket maybe? Yeah, not sure on that one. But that was the new old stock, and it just made it too tight. Strange. But I've still got this problem of excessive movement on the Layshaft. Or is it excessive movement? Seems to be. Can I get shims to put under these bushings? You couldn't really shim this one because it will start messing up the opening for the gear speedo drive. It caused problems there. So yeah, any suggestions on removing that play, whether it does need removing? Yeah, thanks.